So we did Vishwapa word right now. Is that clear? Only one new sutra in this one. In Krishna word, we had more than 25-30 sutras to solve only one word. But this word only we have one sutra.
That's good.
Yeah, no. So it's like that. It's not that in every new word we will have many sutras. No. Only in few words we have such many sutras. Otherwise, 1, 2, 3, 4 sutras like that on an average. Okay, we move ahead.
Yes.
Okay, what is 7.2 of Lakshmana, Akrura Prabhu?
Lakshmana. Lakshmana.
Not Lakshmana, Lakshmana, or Ramanta.
Lakshmana. It would be Lakshmanoho.
No.
7.2.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. So it's deleted. Rama.
No, I'm asking Lakshmana. I'm just asking the previous one. Just checking it. Lakshmana, this one. 7.
I'm not sure.
You recited the table yesterday. I hope you know.
Lakshmana ha, Lakshmano, Lakshmanaha, Lakshmanam, Lakshmano, Lakshmanam, Lakshmanena, Lakshmanabhyam, Lakshmanaihi, Lakshmanaya, Lakshmanabhyam, Lakshmanebhyaha, Lakshmanat, Lakshmanabhyam, Lakshmanebhyaha, Lakshmanasya, Lakshmanayoho, Lakshmaneshu, Lakshmane, Lakshmanayoho, Lakshmeshu, Lakshmanayoho.
Yes. So you got it. Lakshmanayoho, 7.2.
Lakshmanayoho, Lakshmaneshu.
Yes. So this is 7.2. I was asking 7.2. So you told it. Lakshmanayoho. Great, Prabhu. Okay, then let me ask. Raghava, tell Raghava, this is for Mahaprema Mataji. 4.1, Raghava. Mahaprema Mataji.
That's Raghavat.
4.1. Take your time, please.
Yes. Ragavaha, Ragavau, Ragavaha, Ragavam, Ragavau, Ragavan, Ragaveshu.
No.
Ragavena.
Ragavena, Ragavyam,
Ragavabhyam.
Ragavavyam, Ragavahi,
Then?
Ragacha.
What is that?
Ragaja,
No, no.
Ragavaja.
Vaja? What is Vaja?
Ragava.
Then?
Ja?
Not Ja, Ya. Raghavaya.
Yeah. Ragavaya.
So it's Raghavaya. Yeah. So initially.
This song, Haraya Nama Krishna, Yadavaya Namaha.
Yes.
Shavaya Namaha.
So
this is all day, not for Hari, for Krishna.
Yes. Yadavaya and so on. Krishnaya, Yadavaya, Madhavaya, Govindaya. The same dative. Okay. So initially it takes time. You have to come. Means our mind has memorized the whole table. So if I ask from somewhere in between, then we have to come from the very beginning, to reach there. So
Yes.
it is a genuine process. You do that. And over the period of time, you can tell from between also. Okay, this is for Charuta Mataji. Ravana, let's say 6-1.
Ravanasya.
Oh, that was easy, I think.
Correct.
I have an advantage. I have learned this in high school. I started studying it in my 8th grade.
Okay, okay. So,
But I would memorize the table that time. I didn't know the declensions.
okay. So now it's complete. Declensions
Yeah.
plus the table. So Ravanasya. Okay.
Guinea pig.
So just a checking. You all passed. Okay.
Shakti.
So words like Somapa and so on are declined in the same way as Vishwapa. So now please write Somapa as your homework, the whole table. It's like Vishwapa. Please note that. Somapa.
Are there any more words that end with pa that are common like this, masculine?
Jiva Goswami says and so on. So he doesn't mention actually the words.
Because I
So-
haven't come across really.
Yeah, they're very rare. But Jiva Goswami
Mhm.
is just including everything. He's trying to include everything possible.
This pa, in this case, what does it mean?
This is pa.
Protect.
No, this is pa pane. Pane means to drink.
Oh, okay.
Pa. And in Vishwa pa, what is pa?
That is pa rakshane, to protect.
Acha.
So this is your homework. Please write forms for Somapa, and this is similar to the process of Vishwapa. Okay. We move ahead.
Yes.
That was okay. Okay. We'll
Okay.
Okay. Now, so we are done with Aramanta. We are done with Aramanta Shabda, and we did like Krishna word. We did Aramanta also, and the word we did was Vishwapa. So now Jiva Goswami is moving to the next word, which is E, the short E. Very systematic. And now he will discuss the word Hari, Vamana Iramanta. Okay. Now we begin the declension of the word Hari, which ends in Vamana Irama, right? Hari. Okay. E Uramanto Hari Sangyaha. Any nama ending in Irama or Urama is called Hari. So any nama which ends with either Irama or Urama, they are called Hari Shabdas. So it's not only indicating the Irama, it also includes the Urama. Okay. For example, the words like Guru, words like Vishnu, Madhu, and so on. They are also called Hari Shabdas. E Uramanto Hari Sangyaha. So Hari.
One question.
Yes, Prabhu.
Sorry. In Sanskrit, do you have some type of to recognize if it's feminine or masculine just by looking at the end of the word, or just you have to learn each word by each word?
They have a general pattern, I will say that. So the general pattern is the Vamana Shabdas. So the words, the nouns, which end with Vamana Sarveshwaras, for example, short E, short U, even short Re, they are generally considered masculine. And those words, those nouns which end with the long ones. They are generally feminine. So this is like the main category of dividing the masculine shabdas and the feminine shabdas.
And O, Au, and AI not falling in this category.
Mm,
I don't think there are many nouns that end in O,
yeah,
O,
that
right?
was.
Yeah.
So there are not many nouns, very rare, very few nouns like which end with O, A, I, O. Like there is one which end with O, like go, go shabda.
Mm, mm,
So very few which ends with them. So that's why it's like a general thing. But still there are some exceptions as we did now, like Vishwapa. They're very rare, like very, very, very rare. Practically you will not see them in your lifetime. But still Jiva Goswami included it so that the grammar is complete. Nothing is left out. But
because
if you're
Vishwapa in this case is masculine, right?
yes, that is masculine. So, so if you study grammar not from a sutra point of view, just a normal, just simple style, then you will never come to know about all these rare things.
Mm,
So that is included in the sutra way of studying.
mm.
So like that, Prabhu.
Acha, thank you. So Vishwapa would be the protector of all,
Yes,
and Somapa would be the drinker of Soma.
yes.
Both of them masculine.
Yeah, one more thing is that we should not compare the English meaning of the Sanskrit word with the gender of the English meaning of the gender of the Sanskrit word. For example,
Mm, mm, mm.
I already told that, I think, but I will tell that again. Devta means what?
God,
No.
demigod.
Yeah, like Devta means demigod. Now demigods are masculine or feminine? I'm just asking from English point of view. They're masculine, demigod. But the word Devata is feminine according to Sanskrit.
Mm.
So now one may ask, oh, demigods are masculine, how come Devta is feminine? But that is an irrational question. We should not compare the genders in English language with the genders in Sanskrit language.
Yeah.
So please also keep that in mind. Okay. So that was one thing. So E Uramanto Hari Sangyaha, any nama ending in E Rama or Urama, they are called Hari. So Hari Yukta Su. So we'll begin the declension of Hari Shabda. 1-1. Hari Yukta Su. So we just combine them, no new rule. Haris and then Sara Rami or Vishnu Sargo Vishnu Vedante. Harihi Sarvatra Giyate. Okay, simple. Harihi.
One question: the 117 sutra and so on, we don't need this to do Hari Shabda, the following sutras.
Please say again.
I mean, before we start declining Hari Shabda, do we not need to read the sutras 117, 118, 19?
You need to actually, I will tell till where. Till 124th.
Acha.
So I'll just stop here because I think no one has gone through these sutras. So we just did 1-1. So next time for next class, like next Saturday, read sutras 116, 100 from 115 till 124. So it would be nice if you can read before the class, like so that whatever I'm speaking, I'm trying to explain makes more sense, because it's little technical, may slip at the first point. So when you read and come in the class, so it will help you more.
Yeah, yeah. In this case, I was studying the last sutras, the Krishna Samgya Sutras. So I could not start with these other ones because I
Okay.
wanted to study.
Sure. So for the next class on the Saturday, study till 124th. Then we'll complete the Hari Shabda on next Saturday. Okay.
Sure.
And, yeah. Any question till here? Anything? Okay, you all are genius. No questions. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1. So please do your homework. That is Somapa. That is your homework. Okay, Canto 1, Chapter 2, and this is text 16. Just okay. Shushrushoh Shraddhanasya Vasudeva Katha Ruchihi Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipraha Punyatirtha Nishevanat. Hey Vipraha, this is Suta Goswami speaking to Shaunak Adi Rishis. Hey Vipraha, Brahmana Rishayah. Okay, I just want to get an idea that when we just read the Sanskrit, like the Anvayas we do, without explaining, so how much or how many percentage of words make sense to you without being explained by me? You can tell like one by one. How many percentage, like on an average? Maybe Akrura Prabhu, how much do you understand just by reading?
Yeah, in the case of Srimad Bhagavatam, this unbiased, I do understand maybe like, I don't know, maybe 50, 60%,
Okay.
but when it's about comprehending the meaning of the sutra, now I do not understand the
No,
meaning.
I'm
I
just
do understand.
I'm just differentiating. I'm not asking the application of the Vyakarana here. I'm just asking the vocabulary point of view.
Maybe even more, maybe 70. In this case, I do
Okay.
understand. Yeah.
Okay. What about Charuta Mataji?
Yeah, most of them. For me, it depends if like because most of the words I find very similar to Marathi, so I
Okay.
already know them. Yeah.
So how many percentage? How much?
Like 3/4, maybe 75. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. What about
Like in this verse, I
Mhm.
didn't know the word Vipra, but I
Mhm.
know Brahmana and Rishaya. So
Okay. Okay. What about Mahaprema Mataji? What's your percentage?
40, sometimes 50.
Okay, so actually now vocabulary is like good. We know words. Okay, that's great. Okay, hey Vipraha, Brahmanaha, Rishayah, Punya Tirtha Nishevanat. So next time my question will be how much are we able to apply the grammar here? So before I ask you, practice. Punya Tirtha Nishevanat, Guroho Sevaya, Nigama Agamayo, Tirtham Rishi Jushta Jale, Gurau iti Amaraha. अथवा प्रभासादि विष्णु तीर्थ परिक्रमया. ओके ओके ओके. महत् सेवया च सत्पुरुषाणां भक्तानां सेवया च निष्पापस्य श्रद्धानस्य साधु गुरु शास्त्र वाक्येषु सुदृढ़ विश्वास युक्त.
What happened?
I'm just looking for my water bottle. Anyhow. शुश्रूषोः भगवत कथा श्रवणाभिलाषिणः वासुदेव कथा रुचि श्रीहरि कथायाम आसक्ति स्यात् भवितुम अर्हति. Okay. Hey Vipraha. Vipra is also another name for Brahmana or Rishis. Of course, they have subtle differences in the terminologies. I don't remember now, but they do have subtle differences in the words Vipra, Brahmana, Rishis. But overall, they are like alike, same. So, O Brahmanas, So Suta Goswami is telling how one attains to the attraction or the taste in the kathas, in the pastimes, in the narrations of Lord Vasudeva. How does it happen? The process. So he says, Punya Tirtha Nishevanat. Now he explains that Guroho Sevaya, by service to Sri Gurudev. Then the word is Tirtha in the shloka. So first of all, in the Anvaya, Tirtha is taken to be Guru. You know, Tirtha is taken to be Guru. Especially in Gaudiya Maths, the title Tirtha is very much used for gurus, for sannyasis. Am I right, Prabhu?
Yes.
So Tirtha is Guru here. So he's quoting Amar Kosha. Amar Kosha is like a dictionary. It's like a dictionary where you get words, their synonyms. So Tirtha can mean all these things. It can mean Nigama. Tirtha can mean Agama. Okay, Nigama, Agama, Tirtha, Rishi, Jushta, Jale, Guru. They are synonymous. So here Guru Artha is taken in the Anvaya. Nigama Agama means different types of scriptures. They can also be called Tirtha. Then Tirtham is, Tirtham can be the place of pilgrimage, which is the primary meaning which we all know, especially in India, Tirtha. Then Rishi Jushta Jale. Rishi Jushta Jale means the holy waters like Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, Ityadi, or any other water body, which is served by the rishis, the great saints. Basically, where the great sages they take bath and sanctify those rivers also. So that is Rishi Jushta Jale. So that can also mean Tirtha, and Guru, spiritual master, can also mean Tirtha. Okay.
Nigama means scripture or different?
Nigama Agama, they are like specific types of scriptures, but I'm just saying scriptures as a whole.
But when it says Nigama Kalpataror, this Nigama what means?
Yeah, that is also Nigama there means. Nigama there means the Vedas.
Achha.
Yeah. Okay, so Atva Prabhas Adi Vishnu Tirtha Parikramaya. Or it can means by circumambulating, doing parikrama of different tirthas, pilgrimages like Prabhas and other pilgrimages sites relating to Lord Vishnu. Prabhas Kshetra is the place from where Lord Krishna he disappeared. Prabhas Kshetra. So that is Punya Tirtha Nishevanat. By serving Guru or by serving the holy dhams, by doing parikrama of them and so on. Mahat Sevayacha, Sat Purushanam Bhaktanam Sevayacha, and by serving the devotees who are Sat Purusha, who are Sat Purush can be translated as gentlemen, Sat Purush, nice men, Sat Purush, or who are devotees of Krishna, Bhaktas. So one who serves Guru, one who serves the Tirthas, the holy Dhamas, one who serves the devotees of the Lord, they become Nishpapa. They become sinless. Nishpapa means no sin, no papa. They become sinless, and then they also become faithful, or they become more faithful. They had faith, that's why they served Guru, that's why they served devotees. Now their faith is more condensed. Shraddhadhanasya. Sadhu Guru Shastra Vakyeshu Sudridha Vishwas Yuktasya. What does Shraddha means? It means they have got a strong faith, a firm faith. Sudridha Vishwas. In what? In Sadhu, in the saints, in Guru, in his spiritual masters, and in scriptures, in the statements of the scriptures. So that is Shraddha. Shushrusho Bhagavad Katha Shravanabhilashinah. And such a person, such a devotee, he is very curious, Abhilashi. He has got that curiosity to hear the pastimes, the Katha of the Lord. And for such a person, to such a person, Shri Hari Kathayam Asaktihi Bhavitum Arhati. For such a person, he is able to become attached, or he is able to get attachment in the pastimes of Lord Hari. Okay?
Bhavitum arhati means for such person.
No, Bhavitum Arhati is qualified to be.
Hmm.
Literally, I'm literally is qualified to be. Arhati is like is qualified. Bhavitum means to be.
Hmm.
Is qualified to be attached in the pastimes of Lord Hari.
Hmm.
Any other thing in the shloka?
In the when it says nishevanat, what ni means like
Now this is like a prefix, and prefix can mean a lot
yeah.
of things.
Uh,
Let's see, what does it say? Nishevana is like devotion, honor, worship. So it's ni is a prefix. Then we have sev dhatu, which means to serve. So it doesn't say much about it. So it means devotion, serving, honoring, worshipping. Yeah.
but this same prefix can mean a lot of things. Ni.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes. Dhatu naam anek arthatvat. A single dhatu can have multi meanings.
How many?
Multi.
Multi. Acha.
It is a statement from grammar only. Dhatu naam anek arthatvat. Anek artha, many meanings.
Hmm.
So each time the same prefix, the same dhatu, the same pratyas is used by different authors, but the meanings will be different because of the perception of the author who's writing it.
So this dhatunam anek varta artat.
A dhatu naam, it's a dhatu naam अनेक और अनेकार्थत्वात्. Okay. Dhatu naam अनेकार्थत्वात्. So yeah, it's very dynamic, very dynamic. That's why Sanskrit is very much dependent on the context.
Yeah.
To understand the language, Sanskrit grammar is of course the first key, but the second key I would say, or I would recommend, is the context of the subject which you are reading, any commentary or any verse. So that also carries the meaning of any word which may be grammatically impossible to understand. So context is very important. So yes, context.
That's why there cannot be a Google dictionary for translation for Sanskrit.
Yes, actually, I was just reading about that somewhere. So someone was proposing that we'll make some platform, some software, where one can go and translate something into Sanskrit from Sanskrit to other language. But then someone else said that it's impossible because of the same reason which we are discussing.
Yeah.
This is a mercy that Sanskrit it's protected by the rishis and the Vedas, because otherwise these asuras will come inside and make anything of meanings of the
I agree.
Shastra.
So
imagine the Bhagavad Gita by Google version, no? People would read it. Wikipedia version of Bhagavad Gita. It's crazy.
yeah, so actually it's happening even. Many people are trying various ways. But to get the exact thing, it's you need a devotee who knows it, the subject, like Suta Goswami. So yeah, that was it.
Prabhu, what's the English word you use for Sushrusha or Shravana
Curiosity to hear.
Yeah, you said something and I heard it, but I was trying to note it down and I forgot.
Yeah, I said one who is curious to hear about the pastimes of the Lord.
Okay, thank you.
Abhilasha, Abhilasha is like curiosity.
Yeah, Vilasha, I know.
Abhilasha.
Yeah.
Morai Abhilash Vilas Kunja Diyobas, we say. It is my desire, my curiosity that, the meaning goes like Abhilash. Okay, we'll do one
One
more.
question.
Yes,
Oh,
please.
sorry. I
Yes.
interrupted. Just to know if I'm correct. So dhatu would mean a verb and nama would be a noun, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay, we move ahead. Next, Loka.
And when we say the prakriti or the root of the word could be from a
Then,
dhatu or from a
prakriti can mean nama, prakriti can mean dhatu. And
sure.
root, when we say just root, then it can mean any root, verbal or nominal. But when we say nominal root, then it means noun. When we say verbal root, then it means dhatu. That like that.
Apart from dhatu and nama, there is no other prakriti, right?
No. Prakritis are of only two types: nama, dhatu.
Sure.
शृण्वतां स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्य श्रवण कीर्तन हृदयन्तस्थो ह्यवद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृत् सताम्. पुण्य श्रवण कीर्तनः यस्य श्रवणं कीर्तनं चापि पावनं सः सतां साधूनां सुहृत् हृतकारी भगवान् कृष्णः स्वकथा स्वीय नाम गुणकथाः शृण्वतां श्रवणशीलानाम् अंतस्थ हृदयस्थः सन् चैत्य गुरु रूपेण इति अर्थः. हृदये यानि अभद्राणि रागादि वासना तानि विधुनोति नाशयति. Very nice verse. Punya Shravana. Okay, first of all, Krishna is the subject. Lord Krishna, who is Punya Shravana Kirtana, which means Yasya Shravanam Kirtanam Chapi Pavanam Sa. So the Lord, who's about, so the Lord about whom, okay, the Lord hearing and chanting about whom purifies one, such a Lord. Okay, the Lord hearing and chanting about whom makes one purify. Yasya Shravanam Kirtanam Chapi Pavanam Saha. And he is Satam Sadhunam Hitakari. He is the, how do you say Hitakari? He does welfare.
Well-wisher.
Yeah, he's the well-wisher, or he does welfare of sadhus, of saints, of sages. So such a Lord, such a Bhagwan, he resides Hridayastha san Chaitya Guru Rupena iti artha. Prabhu, can you please mute yourself? Some noise is coming from somewhere. Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So he resides Hridayastha. Hridayastha means he resides in the heart of so he resides in the heart of whom? Again, some noise is coming. Ramaprana Prabhu, can you please mute yourself? Okay. So he resides in the heart of, actually he resides in everyone's heart, but here those who are Shravana Shila Nam, those who are adopted or who are attached to hearing the pastimes of the guna and nama of the Lord, so he resides in their heart as Chaitya Guru, in the form of Chaitya Guru. We have heard of this many times. One is Chaitya Guru, and one is how do you say the another? Bahya? No. One is Chaitya Guru, and one is the Guru we take initiation from.
Like
So
Vyasti Samasti Guru or
no. There is another term. I'm just forgetting that.
Like Shiksha and Diksha? Or?
Maybe the Diksha Shiksha Gurus. So So yeah, so Chaitya Guru means who resides in our heart in the form of Chaitya Guru, who guides in that way. So he resides as Chaitya Guru in the hearts of those who are attached to hearing about the pastimes pertaining to Guna and Nama of the Lord. And he Hridaya Yani Abhadrani Ragadi Vasanaha Tani Vidunoti, and he destroys Nashayati all the different kinds of vasanas, the unwanted desires which are generated from rag, attachment, and so on, lust. Yeah, in the heart of those devotees, of those people. Yeah, that's it. And
Tani would be from them.
which what?
Ragadi Vasanaha Tani.
Tani means all of them, all of those vasanas.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And sorry, Vidhunoti, what means?
Vidunoti nashayati. Vidunoti generally means to wash something, Vidunoti.
Mm.
So to wash off, to clean off. So nashayati is to destroy, to clean off.
Vidhunoti Suhrit Satam.
Yeah. Any other thing here? Any clarification or something?
Shravana Shilanam, is that like expertise in hearing or?
Actually, Sheila, the word Sheila is like behavior, one's behavior.
Okay.
So one whose second nature is to hear about the Lord, something like that. One
Mm-hmm.
the act of hearing has become his very nature.
Mm-hmm.
That is Sheila. Sheila means Swabhav.
Mm-hmm.
So once Swabhava has become like that he likes to hear. It's very nature of him. He cannot live without hearing about the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
That is Sheila. Sheila means Swabhava.
Okay.
Oh, that's so sweet, huh? Shravana Shilanam.
Yeah. Any other clarification? Okay, so we'll stop here for today, and please do your homework. Please revise the sutras well. Everything depends on the sutras. And also, please do not forget the sandhis. Keep practicing sandhis. Keep doing shlokas, reading much of Sanskrit stuffs, and try to find out the sandhis and all. And but wherever you have any question, you may please ask. So would be really great for me, to help you in any way possible. So the main point is to learn. So please do read. And okay, we'll stop here if there is no discussion. And thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare